at you on a Sunday night tonight. By Friday. How y'all doing? I don't know how long I'm going to be out tonight. I'm really tired. I was up early, had a long day at work, and I'm running a little low. But I wanted to at least open up a stream. Hey, is it Gary? Carrie T? Hey, Carrie T. What's up? And your mom, your mama, Joe Mama. We just it's open panel. That's all. Just waiting around for the people. Oh, and so yeah, the sub thing. I'm still at 16. What I think happened is like everybody that's interested in subbing is subbed. So like when you post it in other channels, those people are already subbed. When you post it in the Discord, they're already subbed. And so it's finding new people outside of the community that haven't subbed yet. I remember the movie Carrie. That was probably one of the better Stephen King movies. I watched some of it as a kid, and I didn't fully understand it, but it was still creepy, and it spooked me out, even without even really knowing the plot. I could tell I could tell that those kids were being mean though, that they were. I didn't understand why they were being mean to her, but I knew that they were up to no good. And Piper Laurie was in that. She's one of my favorite actresses. So, what's happening tonight? It's a Sunday night. People are probably in bed. I'm streaming later than usual. Let's see who's out tonight. Maybe we can go panel hopping. We'll go do some visiting. Oh, there's not really anybody to visit. Oh well. Sunday night. Hey, Alan, my other gay. What's up? What's up, my? What would he be? Not my N word. What's up, my? What do two gays say to each other when they meet? Like, did we ever have a greeting besides like, "Hey, girlfriend," "Hey, sister," "Hey, Miss Thing"? Like, they would say that kind of stuff if they saw another gay. But you know how like some cultures will say, "Hey, my homie," and we need a gay version of that so that when we recognize each other, because we're like the only two around here, I think, top or bottom. Yeah, see that they used to be so much simpler. There was no genders, there was no non-binary, any of that. You were top, bottom, or versatile. And versatile was all the in-between stuff. So they should just call themselves versatile. Or androgynous. Androgyny's been around forever, since at least like David Bowie, Andy Warhol, Rocky Horror Picture Show, way before these kids' generation. So androgyny is not this new thing that society's suddenly having to deal with. That's not what the issue is. Oh, Alan, you have some tea to spill. I think his name was Patrick. Give us an update. How was it? Well, at least you got to have an ex-husband. I'm still waiting on my first. Yeah, last we left Alan, I think it was on the last panel. He had a visitor had stopped by to drop off Something. Is that a pun, or are you being serious? Well, good. I'm glad there was some motion in that ocean. It makes I feel I can live out my gay life through you. So thank you for scoring one for us. Um, that's good news. Motion and lotion. Yeah, this is actually good news for a change. You know, we have countries bombing each other and people doing all kind of crazy violence on behalf of politics. So it's good to hear something joyful for once. So good for you and Patrick. I don't really have anything tonight. I worked. It was a sun. It was really slow today, and I don't know. Did they? What? I I realized that days go by slower when there's nothing to do. When there's a bunch of work. I'd rather have a lot of work to do and be busy than have nothing to do and just have the clock drag on and on and on throughout the day. And you'd think people would be excited, like, oh, yay, I show up at work and there's nothing to do. But people were wanting to go home. They're like, this is bullshit. I don't want to just stand around. If there's nothing to do, send me home. That kind of stuff. Instead of, oh, well, it's free money. The company's paying me to stand around. I don't have a problem with that. It was the opposite. It was like if we don't have any work, if we can't do something, we don't want to be here. Alan's great. It sounds like they do. They I noticed that people are very whiny and complaining. I'm starting to really dislike complainers, and I'm not even talking about only on YouTube. Like even in real life, they will sit around and complain about their job, their family, their husband, their wife, their kids, their friends, the city they live, like everything. And as somebody that works to help develop personal agency, like a sense of your own ability to affect your life, it's so frustrating to hear people complain all the time because that's the first thing I go to. Well, what are you doing to change it? What did you do to get yourself in this miserable situation that you're in the first place? Like what was your role in it? Take some accountability and some responsibility and get behind the driver's seat and then you can start driving your little car wherever you want to go instead of sitting at the side of the road complaining. But you're right. I hear it a lot, a lot, a lot. Also, I think, especially up here, I think people bond over complaining. Like, it's not even so much about the individual complaint as if you can complain and then somebody else complains back or can listen to your complaint, y'all start to develop. It's something to kind of build a relationship around. And for me, it just makes me, well, it's like a red light. It's like a signal that this is not somebody I want to overinvest in. I'll just be very surface and like wait, move on to the next person and try them out. But I can also complain too. So, but usually when I'm complaining, it's about something very specific, and I have a reason to complain. It's like something that happened at work or something that a person, like one thing that one person did. Because also I'm a problem solver. So usually if something happens to me that I have to complain about, I'm already in problem solving mode trying to overcome it or neutralize it or resolve it. And so I really don't have a lot of time to sit around with the problem to begin with. Like, so complainers are people that are they're complaining, but they're not also trying to do something about the problem at the same time. The complaining is their way of handling the problem. And for me, if I have a problem, I'm going to be solving it. So the complaining, I don't really need the complaining part because I'm already taking care of the problem. The complaining is just, um, it seems superfluous on top of that. Hey, Lou, what's up? Alan, with the sofa? Well, I've had this camo top on plenty of streams, so it'll probably be okay. I can't do anything about the sofa yet. Right, exactly, Carrie. Yes. I'll even, like, e- if there's somebody that I think can take care of the problem or is responsible for it, I might even start out trying to whine a little bit to the right person. But then if that person doesn't do anything or they don't seem motivated to or care about the problem, I'm going to just ignore them and go solve it myself anyway. So even the people you are supposed to whine to, I don't really do much whining to them because if they give me any indication that I'm wasting my time, then it's easier for me to just go find a way to solve the problem myself. But if I do whine to the right person and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I got it. I'll take care of it." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's all I needed to do." So, there you go. But I don't know that I've seen I know whining doesn't motivate me. If somebody's whining to me, it's probably not going to make me want to give them what they want. Probably the opposite. But for some people it does. Like it works. It gets them. All of that stuff is probably strategies we learned as babies to get our needs met from our parents and the people around us. And I guess some people, if they whined as kids, it worked. And so they know it's a strategy that if they use it with the right people, it's at least worked in the past. And my whining got me nowhere. I didn't even bother to develop the art of whining as a kid because I saw very early on that how pointless it was. Because they completely ignored me. If I was whining about something or throwing a fit, they just let me do, and they completely ignored me. It got me nothing, not even attention. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got to try something else. If I want this thing that I'm throwing the fit about to begin with, and the fit's not working, then I got to figure out some other way to get the thing. And so I had to develop all of these strategies very early. Were you were you Gen X? Like, were you a latchkey kid? Because that's also very common when I talk to Gen X people. We kind of had to raise ourselves. We took care of ourselves. I didn't necessarily have to adult early, and I'm just learning to adult now, really. But I was very independent early. I could take care of myself. I could feed myself. You could leave me home by myself. I could get myself to places I needed to go. I didn't need somebody doing for me all the time. And so people could just kind of leave me alone, and they knew that I could get whatever I needed done. Oh, yeah, well, you're Gen X because I'll be 55 this year. It's that's the generation we're in. The rock and roll generation. And in some ways the video game generation, but just at the very cusp because that was more millennials. But we grew up with the same music, the same TV shows, the same movies, that kind of stuff. And then somewhere like late 90s, early aughts, there was a shift. And the generation after us, which is the millennials, grew up very differently. And they're the generations that grew up on the computer. And now you have the smartphone generation. Oh, yeah, Roseanne. Uh huh. Me too. In fact, I wasn't a big sitcom person really at all. And when Roseanne came out, that was one of the few sitcoms that I made a point to watch every single week. It was like one of my TV rituals was watching Roseanne for the week. And it was probably the best sitcom at the time, like the time it was on. Although I love Designing Women too, which was at the same time. Yeah, it was. It like innovated, evolved the sitcom to the next level, and it made it more. I don't know. It humanized it, or it made it more. It kind of expanded. It made it three dimensional instead of cartoonish, which is what most of the sitcoms before Roseanne were like. Because you even had dramatic moments. You had storylines. Um, they would like carry plots over from one episode to another, and you would watch the characters grow and develop. And a lot of ordinary sitcoms were formulaic. They didn't really have a timeline to it. They might have had like a general meta one in the background, but some random thing happened on each episode, but they weren't necessarily tied to each other. And this had a lot of continuity to it, and a lot of like they were actual characters. They weren't just people trying to make you laugh on TV, like acting out a script to make you laugh, which was like a lot of sitcoms. You could tell that the actors are intentionally doing things a certain way to get you to laugh because that's what you do in sitcoms. There's kind of a bit of what is it like slapstick and buffoonery to it. But with Roseanne, it was like actual ordinary people that just happened to be funny, say funny things a lot of the time, but they also said mean things, they said angry things, they cried, they argued and fought, but not in funny ways, in uncomfortable ways. And so it had a mix of it. It wasn't just straight comedy. They found a way to tie in so many other like feelings and styles. And so it made it seem more real life, like more realistic. Yeah. And I haven't watched they did a reboot before she got canceled where they brought the show back and I haven't seen any of those. Oh god. She did kind of well, actually, I don't know. I'd have to compare her now from being in the Panelverse for a few years, but at the time, she did seem in some really out there territory. But now she probably seems completely normal compared to the stuff I hear on here. Hey, Helena. What's up? And Chuck, how you doing? You live in payday to payday? Well, I am too. It's not so bad. I've pretty much lived that way my whole life, so I guess I don't know anything but it's just normal to live paycheck to paycheck. And even growing up, like I'm pretty sure my mom lived paycheck. In fact, I know she did because there were times that we would run out of groceries and we'd have to wait. She'd be like, "Well, I get paid next week. Eat peanut butter in the meantime." Oh, oh, right. Okay, Roseanne. Yeah. Yeah, that's like working class, like lower working class, I guess, which is what we were growing up. Most of us were though. Like the first school I went to, everybody was poor. That like there were no middle class. There was a few people that I guess you could call wealthy. Like they had brick homes and concrete driveways. That was my marker of how fancy you were, or like what class you were in. If you had a brick home instead of a shack, like a house on blocks or a trailer house, and you had a concrete driveway, like a smooth concrete driveway that the car could just pull into, uh, instead of rocks or shale or dirt, which is what we had. And so that was like the next level up. Well, Alan, I'm saving it for our. You need to get me some subs. I only need 16, and that's harder than it sounds because I was thinking, oh, 16, that shouldn't be hard to do. But it has to be 16 new people who haven't subbed to you yet, and almost everybody that hangs out here is already subbed. And so it kind of is like going out and recruiting. Like you have to talk to 100 people, and you might get 16 subs. And so it might take a little longer than I expected. But I was saving the shirtless thing for our shirtless disco celebration party for when I cross that 1K mark. Hey, Vinny. I appreciate it. And a lot of people have been telling me they have. And I believe that they have. I just think that it's probably people that see it and like, "Oh yeah, I already subbed to him." It's how to reach the new people. We have to go like outside of this sector, either into some other YouTube sector or some other platform altogether. Like go on Twitch and say, "Hey, I bet you don't know about this channel on YouTube that you can't find on Twitch or like Facebook or something like that." I might, you know what, tomorrow I might do some begging on my social media. I haven't done that in a while. And every now and then if I put something on Facebook, my network will start knowing people that haven't seen me yet, and they'll share me. So I might get like a little bit off of there. Yeah, that's how I grew in the beginning. You're right, Lou. The problem is finding the panels to go on because I'm so fussy about you know how that the atmosphere has to be just right. But yeah, I guess I do because it's usually here's what's happening though. I work all the time, and so when I'm not working, I usually have time to do my own stream, and that's about it. So if I panel hopped, it would have to be in like maybe panel hop one day, do my own stream the next, etc. Because before, when I was panel hopping, I had 24 hours in the day to play online, and so I had the luxury of I could stream when I wanted. I could go on other panels when I want to, and now I have to ration my time. Oh, instead of flow. Usually it's flow that pushes me over the edge. Yeah, because there's a little bit of glory to be won here, some bragging rights. If flow helps me get to 16, then he gets to claim the honor of having gotten me over the line. Because right now, when I crossed over to 500, La Puffy technically is the person that got me over. She had some friends that she shared me to, and that was enough to get it over. But Mike was the one that brought the numbers that got it close enough for La Puffy to come in and cross the finish line with it. So when Mike talks about helping to grow the channel, he's not lying. He did bring a lot of new viewers. And there are people here today that still come for him. It is. It is camo. I love camo. Go bounce into. I don't. Me and Angel don't get along. I would never go on Angel's panel. He used to come on this one before I figured out how he was. See, that's the problem. I have like it's me. It's me. It's I have so many panels that I refuse to go on. They just keep piling up. So finding the ones left that I can still go on this person's panel is hard. There's probably like maybe 4 or 5 panels I would even consider going on, and I don't think any of them are really big channels. Yeah, nobody is perfect. Least of all me. I don't even try to be perfect. But I do have certain basic standards and expectations for myself. And if it doesn't align, then I just know me. I'm not gonna. There's no point wasting the time. Well, we're at the half hour mark. I hope I get a panel, but even if I don't, I didn't want to go that long today anyway. Because I'm really tired. I'll go for like 10 or 15 more minutes, and then if nobody shows up, we'll call it a night, and I'll save it up for tomorrow. I was kind of hoping to do the party tomorrow, because I thought I'd have 1,000 by then, but it might have to get postponed. But I'll still be out tomorrow streaming. It will just be shirted. But I'm excited for the disco party, so I hope it happens soon. No, it's not gonna be. Hey, Alan, you know what I had? You know what we had in Vegas? Remember those shiny club shirts? They look like holograms. They were like this rainbowy, this metallic fabric with rainbowy shimmers to it, and people would wear them to the clubs. I had a couple of those, and I loved them. So I would wear something like that if I still had them. But the point is, it's shirtless. It's not going to be any shirt until somebody pays me to put it back on. Here, I can give a preview maybe. Put it on. Take it off. Put it on. Take it off. Oh well, y'all. It's BYOP. I never did like those things, and when I first started going, this is how old I am. When I first started going to the gay bars, they were still calling it Rush. It wasn't even called Poppers, which is something from the '70s. Um, but it made my head hurt. It was like sniffing paint. It felt like when you hang upside down, like from a monkey bar, and all the blood goes to your head, and then you get up real fast, and you get that blood rush feeling. I hate that feeling. It felt like that. None of it was fun. Have you ever done poppers, Eddie?
Poppers.
Yeah,
Uh, poppers. Trying to remember
I
what those
guess.
those things that have the string on it. And you pull them.
The answer is no. He has never done poppers. No, it's what is it? Amyl nitrate. You sniff it, and
No.
it gives you like a little head rush, and it supposedly relaxes your colon or your sphincter muscle for
I
so the
need to know
gays.
that info.
It's a gay. It's a gay thing, but it can be a straight thing too, can it? Like,
Maybe for
is
the
it
women.
only gay? Like straight men don't use poppers at all?
No.
What about the ones that get pegged?
Well, maybe. Who knows?
I
I
don't
walked
know.
into the wrong
I
conversation.
know. I think I did too. How did I don't even know how I got into this. It's Alan. It's the other gay.
I know Alan Ives. I know Alan.
Uh,
He's a friend of mine. He's a wild one.
apparently,
You
he's
should be
trolling
around.
harder than anybody here. Hey
You, you, you,
Jeff,
you
you
should.
joined just in time for the reset. Unless
You
you
should.
have unless you have a popper story. Do straight men do poppers? We want to hear from you. So what's up?
Not a whole lot, man. I did a live earlier, hoping
The
you would
what?
have been around, Jeff.
Say again?
I did a live earlier, hoping you would have popped in. You would have had a laugh,
Oh,
bro. You would have had a laugh.
we dude, we were just talking about like what other panels I can go on.
You could always come to
That
my
I
channel.
should I
You're
need to
always
start
welcome.
panel hopping again to get my
Yeah,
subs up. And I'm like, well, I
yeah.
don't know any panels that I can go on because they all get on my nerves. Like, I can't think of a panel that I could just go and chill and have a conversation. And yours is perfect.
You
You're
know,
on my list.
like like today was humor Sunday, Sunday vibes, right?
Oh,
So we didn't talk serious things. We talked humor. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you need humor. You know,
oh yeah.
you need to smile once in a while. So, and there's nothing wrong with humor.
Do you plan your topics in advance?
Yes, yes. Like, and I also ask my community for topics of suggestion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if there's something they want me to talk about, and like, say, if there's something that they struggle with, like a chronic illness, because chronic pain fits into mental health, right? Or certain types of mental illnesses like bipolar or schizophrenia or paranoia, all different types. I read up on it, I share it, I talk about it, and if I'm connected to it, I share my experience with it.
And but you draw more of a serious audience or an audience that takes what you do seriously. And so
Well,
they're there for that specific type of stuff.
well, I used to be. My old channel was called All Things Serious. I brought a, 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 she started to be a friend, Christina Rainover. Um, she's new to your channel. I was on the phone talking with her, and I said, "Hey, I want to go up on my buddy Jeff's channel. He
Oh,
lives
hey,
lonely."
Christina.
Yeah. So I shared your link out. And here she is. So new people, networking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
You
and
know,
community building.
yes, yes, and that's important too. Don't be afraid to jump into other communities. What's the worst you
I've had mixed results. So I used to all the time when I first started doing this. I was always flying around the panelverse, seeing who I could go visit. But
yes, you got to be careful.
I've
Yes.
they get weird. Like each panel has its own group dynamics, and group dynamics has always been a struggle for me. And so if I go on a panel and the communication is off or it starts breaking down because of me, then I don't go back. And so I've like scratched off so many panels from just having weird experiences on them.
So I will tell you exactly when my channel started. Okay. Um, I never thought about having a channel. To be honest. Okay. I was in the true crime community. Okay.
In the what?
Uh, true crime community.
Oh, okay.
So I started my channel 2 years ago, August 9th, 2 years ago. Okay. And what got me into it is before I even came into YouTube, I would just watch YouTube for
Oh, what?
music and um, mechanic stuff, building
Oh,
things, trade stuff. And then I was watching Ryan Upchurch, and he decided to talk about a specific case. And I got so into it, I wanted to learn more. I had questions. He quit covering it, so I left and found another channel and continued with the case. And then I became a panel guest, frequent panel guest. So that broke my fear of getting up on panel talking to people. And then a year and a half later, I started my channel, being an advocate for mental health. And here I am today.
how that was the all things serious one.
Yep.
And how did it go? Like what were you able to do with your channel?
Well, so I started off a very serious channel. Okay. And I realized that sometimes you got to be less serious and more entertaining. Because sometimes when people are having a rough day, they don't want to come to a channel where it's more depressing, right? So
I
I
don't
changed.
know. I'm beginning to question that. They seem to
Well, it depends
thrive
on the
on it.
situation. It depends. So weekends, I'm starting with humor. The thing is, it's humor weekend, and only weekends I'm going to talk and be humor. Like today's live, we talked about. Um, I had a friend, P Barnes, which Alan Ives knows. I don't know if you know who P Barnes is.
I
Um,
don't think.
Mr. P.
Mike P?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um, when I started my channel, what I started to do was jump into other atmospheres, so to say, right? And I came across Mr. P, Mike P, his channel. And I became friends with a lot of people from that community. Um, P Barnes, Alan Ives, Willow, a lot of people. You know who Willow is?
I see the name, but they don't really hang out here. But I
What
see
about
their
Ken
name in other
Corso's mom?
chats. In
So
fact, oh wait, I think I blocked them. That's the one I blocked that was asking me to unblock them.
so Willow, if she knows I'm friends with you, they'll protect you. My friends protect my friends. You know what I'm saying? I have that type of community. Okay, I have that type of community. My friends look out for my friends.
Hey Nick, like what is this like a mob thing or a
Mom
street
thing.
street gang?
uh, no, we just look out for each other.
A
You know what I'm
street gang.
saying?
It's rough in these streets.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It is rough in these streets.
Wait, what, Jeff? I totally believe you though. Imagine all of the crazy little sub communities there
Yeah,
are on this thing.
I have friends all over. I have friends all over the U.S. I have friends in Europe. I have friends in New Zealand. I have friends in Australia. So I have friends all over that, like, when I have friends, like, if somebody talks shit about me in a channel and they're in there, they're going to go off on me and they're going to get blocked because they're
Oh
going to,
yeah, I see other groups doing that with their people.
yeah. Yes, Alan Eyes. I said Europe. I said Europe. Yes, Scotland, the
Do you have
UK.
16 friends that have YouTube accounts that they aren't doing anything with?
No,
That could uh, do you have 10?
actually, maybe. Hold on. So if we do, if we do a collab on my channel one day, right?
Oh, yeah, that might bring some numbers.
There's two things that I don't talk about on my channel, so you're well aware:
Okay.
politics and religion.
Oh Lord. Um, I usually don't bring up religion. Usually it's other people bringing it up because I
Yeah,
don't have a need
but
to
those
talk
two
about
things,
Well, I can stay away from politics though because I've been doing it lately. Yeah, I don't think that'll be too hard.
because there's so many other topics you could talk about:
Yeah,
music,
yeah.
movies, comedy, mental health. There's so many other topics. You know, don't get me wrong. I do like going into other platforms and talking about those things. You know what I'm saying? But I have people in my community that aren't Christians, aren't Satanists, are some are atheists, some believe in God, some people don't. Some people are liberals, some people are conservative, and I keep my place neutral. I keep it neutral because if you keep it neutral, there's no fighting in chat. There's
Oh,
no.
there's not.
It's a safe environment to come and talk about things. It's judgment free.
I'm gonna be judging. I always judge.
Yeah, that don't happen there. So you're free to be who you are as a person.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah. Let
Al and I,
either let's pick a topic, or if you have an upcoming topic that you think would be good, we could
what?
plan it around that.
Well, the thing is let's say, for example, there's something you struggle with and you know a lot about. You know what I'm saying? We could do that topic, go over what it is, and then you could talk about your experience with it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'll try to think of something.
And promote your channel at the same time.
Yeah. All right. Something that I struggle with. I'll try to think of. Because
There's
I've
a lot
worked
of
so
things we
hard
all
to
struggle.
like minimize my struggles. I'm trying to think of something that I still do struggle with.
You know,
I mean, I struggle with humility, and I struggle with my ego.
there you go. There's a topics we could talk about in one video. Ego and
Okay,
humility. What is ego? What is humility? And we can
yeah.
talk about the
How to
struggle.
find how to find humility
Yeah.
when you have an ego as gigantic as mine.
And Alan I says your shirt choice. Yes.
Oh, Carrie, I might keep that in mind because we do need some mods around here at times.
And you know what I also do with creators on my platform that I trust? I make them mods.
Oh
I make
yeah.
other creators mods on my channel that I trust, that have the best interest for me. You know what I'm saying?
Finding good mods is hard.
It
It's
is.
a
It is.
it takes time because you have to see what each mod
And you also have to have a
does with it.
platform. And my suggestion is having a platform where you can communicate with your mods outside of YouTube.
Oh yeah, someone did suggest that, and I think we tried email for a little while, but
And Carrie T's not a bad person either. So if you need a mod, Carrie T's not bad.
okay. So far, it's when certain people are here and it brings the trolls that things can get a little hateful in the chat. But then when that's not happening, it's fine. I hardly ever need any kind of moderation.
Because, um, if certain people grace your panel, it's going to bring a lot of trolls.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I've learned that. But trolls also bring numbers.
yes, they do. They do. I had a subscriber in my channel. She was coming in and she said, your channel should be huge. You should have hundreds of people in your chat. The topics you talk about, what you advocate for, you should have hundreds of people in chat. I said, yes, but there's a stigma behind the things I talk about. There's a stigma behind it. And that's the reason why I stayed doing what I do, is because I want to break the stigma
Yeah.
around men's mental health. Because there's people out there that have experienced trauma and have unresolved it. They
Oh
haven't
yeah, like probably most
faced it.
people.
Yes. So,
I definitely see that on here.
you know, um, I have I am so Carrie T said I would never disrespect the channel by allowing crap in chat or participating in it. So your mods should never, when because I was reading your hashtags in your chat, in your description, and those hashtags means a lot
They
of
do
when you
what?
hashtag. They mean a lot. Men's mental health, right? That's an important topic. Okay. And when you're having a mental health discussion, having specific mods to watch when trolls come in and saying disgusting things, it distracts you from your topic and it throws you off your topic because somebody comes in being disrespectful.
Hmm.
And with having mods that you trust modding your channel, you can stay focused. in the very beginning, I used to get mods. I mean, not mods, but people coming in saying things, inappropriate things, and it would throw me off my topic, and it would upset me. So I made certain people mods, and I no longer get distracted. I
So it's finding the right mods.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that that's what I'm still searching for. Because I have some good mods, but um, they don't always hang out here is part of it. So I don't have regular mods, and when they are here, they're not always as aggressive as I would like them to be, because a lot of it's their friends.
So
So they don't. There's like a social price when you mod your own friends.
yes, yes. See, I gave people wrenches and then became friends with them. That makes any sense.
They became what?
I would mod certain people and then become friends with them afterwards.
Yeah, most of my mods were like that. I don't know them personally. It's
And you
just
want
people
to.
in the chat that volunteered to do it.
So what you want is, are you in Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you do is you create a Discord and you create a section specifically for your mods where you can communicate.
I think I did. I think there is one. I did make a
Okay.
section and it never got used.
So yeah, YouTube. So when I changed my name to, well, the thing is, a lot of people are not getting notifications, right? Which is crazy. So Carrie T
Nick,
said,
what is shadow ban? Like
so
I I
shadow,
hear that, but
what shadow banning is, right? And Nick Volt, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay,
why would they be
tell me if
doing
I'm
that
wrong.
to me?
So if YouTube doesn't like certain content, they'll shadow ban that channel.
Why would what how could they not like my content?
I'm just saying, if YouTube,
But so what does that mean? Like when people share my channel, it doesn't actually get shared?
no, it does, it
Oh.
does. So
Hey Vinny, hey Chuck.
Salute.
what's up, Vinny? How you doing?
How you doing, thing?
I'm doing.
You doing? The thing is, he's walking here. The thing is walking here. He's here and walking. Get out of his way.
Vinny's hilarious. I've always enjoyed being on a panel with Vinny
Yeah,
until
me too.
MC comes around.
Until what?
MC,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the king troll himself.
Yeah, I heard that Vinny guy. Yeah,
He's
I don't know about that guy.
he's better than a lot. I've seen him out troll a lot of the people
No,
here.
no, Mike, C.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
When he
Yeah.
said MC at first, I thought of that Nemesis scumbag.
That's who I was thinking of too. But it's exactly who I was thinking of.
Oh yeah,
And then my
MC
brain did a quick
Nemesis.
shift to
We used to
the other
get the
person.
Rush. It came in a little bottle that you could buy.
Oh, so
I'm
you
like you.
you did poppers?
They weren't called poppers. It
I
was a
know. That's
liquid
I know. That's
in
that's
a
how old.
bottle. You
That's a
took the cap off, and
yeah.
I hated that shit with a passion. I'm like you.
I
It gave
hated
me a
it too.
massive
I didn't
headache.
understand why gay people were going around sniffing this stuff, but they
Wait a
said
minute.
it
Wait a minute.
helped them in the
Let's back
bedroom.
up. I wasn't gay. It was part of the drug scene.
So the druggies did it too to get high. It's not just the gays.
Exactly. The kids
Because
were carrying
Rush
it
was
this.
more like a 70s thing. Like all
Yes.
the druggies did Rush.
Correct, and that's what it was called, was Rush, and the kids would carry it to school so that get them through the day so they go smoke their fucking weed when that day was done.
Oh my God. We thought we were bad. That was because '70s. That's all they had was drugs. They didn't have all this stuff to play with
60s
that
and
we have.
70s, yeah.
Drugs
So you're
were
from
well, that
Tennessee,
was the
so
recreation.
No, actually, I'm from Illinois, up by St. Louis, Missouri.
but you got a
Though I'm a
Tennessee.
hillbilly now.
Oh,
Alan, no
so you
way.
live in Tennessee now?
Yeah, well, mom and dad were all from Tennessee. Mom and dad on up were from Tennessee.
Okay.
But from the part of the country they were in, there was only two places that you went for work. That was St. Louis or Detroit.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I
So
used to
there's
live
a
in
whole bunch
Knoxville.
of hillbillies in St. Louis and Detroit at one time.
Yeah, I used to live in Knoxville.
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Well, if you want
Uh,
to get technical is actually Quarantine, Union County.
okay. I'm in
That's the
what, Benton? Yeah, I'm in Benton County, mid central.
I've been to Nashville and Hendersonville.
I'm about 80 miles from Nashville, and I'm about 50 miles from Jackson.
Are you by
Right?
Chattanooga?
No, other side of the state. I'm closer to Memphis than I am Chattanooga.
Oh, Memphis is tough.
Ugh. You ever been to Tupelo? Tupelo, Mississippi? Birthplace of Elvis Presley?
Nope.
I almost got my ass kicked there.
This is a Chuck story.
Well, there were people outside of his house. You know, his house is a national monument or whatever. And this was 20 years ago, but there were people outside crying. I mean, crying. And I blurted out, "What the fuck is wrong with you people?" Oh, that
I
was
could
the
see you
wrong thing.
saying that too.
I
What
did.
was how what year was this? Like how close to
Let me
his
think.
death?
I was almost 40, so that would have been about 1998, 99.
Oh, okay. That
Damn,
was
Chuck.
that was later after. Like far
Yeah,
enough after.
I'm older than dirt. I was here when the lights came on.
Let there be light. Chuck's sitting there.
All you hear is things
Cause,
say, "Damn, Chuck."
'Cause I remember
Who turned the light
that,
on?
that's right when I sobered up in 2000. So yeah, that's why I remember that.
Congratulations.
Damn, it's hot here today. What is
Oh.
it, 9 o'clock, and it's still
Do
92
you
degrees
have
here.
air or fan, like cooling, whatever?
Yeah, I got air conditioning, but I was at freaking Walmart grocery shopping.
Oh.
But whew, it's hot. Trying to unload all them damn groceries. $500 worth of nothing.
What? For how long?
Couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's for like a couple of people.
3.
Yeah,
Me, the wife,
that's
and the boy. I keep telling them food's not that important, but they don't want to listen to me.
Tell them to go out in the woods, catch their own food.
yeah. Don't you
Well,
have chickens?
I had chickens. The flood wiped them out that we
Oh,
had
Damn.
earlier this year.
I, can't they fly?
Chickens
I
No,
guess
cannot
not.
fly.
and my
Like
ducks, I had
like enough to get away from a flood. I mean,
not what we had. No, I had
can't
9
believe. So
ducks.
they drowned?
They got washed away. I found like 12 of them look like they drowned because chickens don't have noses, nostrils. So if they get their mouth filled up completely with water, they will drown. Same as a
Oh
duck,
no.
kind of. And well, the ducks, I never did find the ducks, but
Oh, you lost your
uh,
ducks too?
yeah, I had 9
How can
ducks.
a duck not survive a flood?
Well, that's why they
Ducks can't.
disappeared. They broke
My
away.
ducks can't fly. Domestic ducks don't fly.
But can't they float on the water? Like
Yes, but I
paddle?
don't know where they floated to.
They
Oh.
body surfed away.
My pond, my pond created a raging river through the back of my property. So I don't know where they ended up. I looked for them for about 2 hours and I couldn't find them. Like I said, I found about 12 chickens that had drowned, but I just left them out there for the critters to eat.
Oh.
The other ones, I don't know where they ended up. And
And they
then my
don't
base,
migrate back to you in the winter?
well, they're fenced in. They got a huge fence, but they got washed out because the fence got washed out. So they got carried away. They get too far away, they don't know where the hell they're at. They don't know where they're going to go. They're like little zombies.
Oh, they can't find their way back after a certain.
Right. They're not
I
like a
see.
homing pigeon. And at the same
I
time,
thought they
my
were.
basement, my no flood basement flooded, and I'm on top of a hill. It was a completely finished basement from floor to ceiling, had about 4 foot of water in it, my granddaughter's bedroom. That's a fiasco.
I wonder if ducks put themselves in a row.
My ducks didn't. They went two by two. They looked like little army ducks because it was always two by two that they would do things.
Oh, cute. Did they have a leader, like a duck leader?
Yes, yes, there was an alpha,
Alpha
Disco duck.
duck.
It was disco
and
duck.
whatever she
Yeah,
said
disco.
went.
Oh, it was a she?
Yeah.
The matriarch.
So, yep, the queen is what I called her.
Did
Them
the
ducks
rooster
didn't do
even listen
nothing.
to her too?
What's that?
Did the rooster listen to her too?
No, I got rid of Rooster a long time ago. He was too
Oh, that's
ornery.
how she was able to take her power.
Hmm.
Because,
Yeah.
like, otherwise, it would have been everyone would have been following the rooster.
Yeah, the Rooster was pretty mean, so I had to get rid of him. I wasn't putting up with his shit.
Oh, well.
He was an asshole.
Damn.
Ooh, but life is good. Yeah, that Roseanne show, I enjoyed that original because it was so close to realness, Jeff.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Oh,
something.
Roseanne? Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I
people
hadn't
didn't
seen anything like it
sugarcoat
on TV
it.
before.
Nope, they didn't sugarcoat it. Well, they did, but not to the degree that all the other sitcoms did. You know, they try to tackle some real problems of us poor folk. Because I can
That's the
remember
one, the
living,
Connors. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I haven't seen that. That's the reboot.
I boycotted that show.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm not gonna waste my time then.
I haven't seen it, but after they fired Roseanne, I said, I'm not watching.
Nope.
But didn't they fire her for saying some racist shit?
Something like that. It wasn't as bad as.
Hmm.
I don't know. It sounded pretty. Not
Didn't
maybe
I
not
Judge
mean,
fireable, but
it's not like she said put them on a boat and send them back to Africa type shit.
no. But she compared it to monkeys.
Oh,
didn't
did she?
didn't George Clooney start on Roseanne as well?
Yes, that's where he. Yep, I remember seeing old George in St. Louis. He had a lot of relatives there,
Old Georgie boy.
but you can't get anywhere near him now because he's quote unquote a
It was a
somebody.
tweet she made.
Yeah, she was on Ambien.
Um,
That's the excuse.
sh let's see. Ours. It was
But
about
yes,
Obama's advisor Valerie Jarrett, who was a black lady, and
and
she
a
said
liar.
something about she looks like the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby,
What's wrong with that?
and she tweeted that. I could see controversy brewing over that. That's That's pretty risque to say.
I mean, sometimes the truth's gotta hurt. You just rip the band-aid off. I'm just kidding, fellas. Don't no one take me serious. Lordy, lordy.
So yeah, no
And
more Connors.
but yeah, if I end up on a show tonight, Jeff, somewhere, I'll try to recruit some members for you.
Oh, okay. Like, cause we can have our disco party. Like, the sooner I get there, the sooner we
See,
get
I
some.
thought you'd already hit it. Otherwise, I would have done it last night.
I wish. Yeah, no, I thought I would too. Cause it didn't. Like, I've been
I
here
only
before. That's how I know. I remember this feeling of when it gets very close and
I
it's
only
like
got naked on one show, and that was Based Oracle.
Antique Roadshow. What it based? You you got naked on oracles? Is he even still around? Antique.
No, he found the boyfriend and left YouTube.
Who
The
and
Based
antique.
how?
Oracle. I
I know, but who's the boyfriend?
I don't know.
Do you know how he found him? Did he go in Kendra?
I have no idea because as
What,
soon as
Alan?
you
I'm down to 12. Oh my God.
Dan, dan,
See, I know.
dan,
I
don't
remember this. This is
dan.
exciting. I remember this
Jeff, don't
feeling.
climax yet. I
No, I'm
remember the
not. But it's getting
500 mark.
close.
I
Hey,
remember. I hell, go ahead.
Jeff, do you put subscribers only mode on?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to ask that question.
Hell, I
Yeah.
remember when we was at 75, Jeff.
I know. I
That seems
I
like
remember trying
ancient
to get this to
history.
500
Hold on.
God, that seemed like so long ago. When we
years.
was chasing
Oh,
wood fairies.
I know. I know. And we still had a very active audience back then in chat and
Yes,
everything. We
yes.
just didn't have subscriber numbers. But I would say the channel itself was um, almost
Well,
as active as it is
that's
now.
what drew me in was the premise of the show that you were trying to establish. Because
I can
normally I wouldn't
try.
hang around with gay fellas. You know what I mean?
Oh, I wouldn't try to establish anything gay.
I know. I'm just saying your original premise was to have a positive men's
Well,
health type thing.
it
Right.
still is, and I think we do that somewhat. I
I
mean,
think that's what he's saying, Jeff. That's why I
but
like.
but
Yeah, maybe
Eddie
I
was saying,
misspoke.
Now
yeah,
he's saying it's a positive, wonderful place, and that's why I agree with what
oh,
Chuck's saying for sure. Because
because I
that's
don't
why
know
I wouldn't
how
have said that.
close I got to that mission sometimes. But Eddie was
You
saying
don't
he
make it
did
all
that.
about
Like he
gayness, is what
started
he's
a
saying.
channel specifically
Yeah. What
to
he's
be
saying is what
positive
I
and talk
say
about
is
mental
that you don't
health, and
you don't
it's
make it
hard to keep
about
up.
you don't make it about it's not all about gay. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's not
That's
anything like
exactly. But
about.
that's what
I don't. For me, the gay fight is over. I don't have anything new
right. That's
to
what we're
say
saying.
about gay. So unless somebody else wants to bring it up,
Now,
I have no
long
reason to
time
even talk
ago,
about
there
it.
was a day when I would have bashed the hell out of you until I.
No, Chuck, I
Oh
can't believe
yeah.
that. You'd be the first actual violent person I met if you
Oh
did that.
yeah. I would have been back in the day.
Wow. Why did it get
You
you
know what's
so worked
crazy
up?
is in the
I
'90s.
grew up. I grew up and learned, had an open mind, and learned things on my own. I didn't take other people's bullshit that they were putting out and learn for myself what life was about.
Well,
I learned that gay people are real people too. When
but
I,
why would you want to beat him up before all that?
because that's
Cuz
what we were
that's
taught to do back in the
really
'60s. In the '60s, yeah,
to beat up gay people?
yeah, you
Oh.
got to beat the gay out of them.
Like random people just go
No,
beat
gay
them up if you
people.
find out they're gay?
No, only if they were uh coming on to you or
Well, I
something
wasn't
like that.
cuz you said you would beat me up.
Back in the day, I said
Yeah, but I wasn't.
before.
I would not have been coming on to you.
What I
before
think
I got.
say back then it was frowned upon, right? So
Yes, yes,
okay, instead of looking at the person as a human, and getting to know that person as a human, they were going based off your sexuality. Okay.
correct.
And that's how it was in a lot of states. You know,
Well, it's like the old adage. When I grew up, you didn't get around black people because it might rub off on you.
No, that's ridiculous. They did not teach you that.
I'm
Nobody could be that stupid.
just telling you, Jeff. And it was
Who
the
told you that black people will rub off on you?
society did.
Who society where?
St. Louis, suburb of St. Louis.
Your teacher, your who? Did they have it on the bus? Like billboards? Who
The
said
older
this?
people,
Oh.
the people we're supposed to look up
Well,
to.
did you see any white people with black rubbed off onto them?
No. And even in high school, I remember this black chick. Boy, she was cutie too. Me and her got a little too friendly, and I got beat up by the black guys for messing with a black girl.
Whoa! You've lived a
Yeah, that was in
life.
high school. Broke both of our hearts. We knew we couldn't continue on, or somebody was going to get really, really hurt.
Oh my!
Oh yeah, and like I said, I went through race riots in the '60s in high
Your
school.
school, yeah.
Yeah, I seen 3 people get
This was
killed.
in Illinois,
Yeah, right
and
across the
that wasn't
river
even the
from St. Louis.
South.
No,
Whew. All these people that think that we're fighting, like, still fighting racism today,
well,
you
I
hear
can
these
remember,
stories.
and I'm not going to say it, but in high school, if somebody blurted out the N word, the school would clear out and the parking lot would turn into a brawl. Because as soon as somebody said it, I mean, word spread like wildfire. Yeah, we got
well,
sent home many a day early.
Oh my god! I was gonna say, what stops someone from just saying it every day so that they can end school?
Because I'm talking about huge fucking fights, pardon my language, but huge fights. And it's like, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this before.
and the thing is
And
in the '60s, you don't see that happening now, and they're trying
correct,
to do it.
correct.
Now it's
And
just peaceful
it,
protests.
like I grew up in the '90s, okay, and back then you still saw like the KKK back then, but they were dying off. They were
Yeah.
dying off. It wasn't as prominent as it was in the '60s, '70s, '80s. Okay, by the '90s, it was dying off because the integration between everything was going on. Right. I grew up in Florida. I grew up in the South. I grew up in the projects in the '90s. Okay, me and my little brother were the two only white boys in the neighborhood for 7 years. Every white family that moved in would be there 6 months and gone. I lived
Oh,
Yep.
there 7 years, right? The thing is, right, is, and I'll tell you this, the South was integrated before the North was. Because
Yeah.
When I went to New Hampshire, I I looked around to my mom, and the first thing out of my mouth in this state, it wasn't, oh, it looks amazing. I'm like, Ma, I ain't never seen so many damn white people in my life in New Hampshire,
that's
right? And Maine is the same way. Maine is
yep.
predominantly white, not really integrated.
That's how it is up
Okay.
here too.
When I left New Hampshire recently for 2 years ago, um, going on 2 years ago, a year almost. Well, when I left, it has been gotten tremendously integrated. It's gotten a lot more diverse. over
I
the years.
remember, yeah, I remember 1978. I was stationed or living in Augusta, Georgia. And my roommate, every weekend, we used to go to his mom and dad's house in Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville's a big place. And one day I got in the car and went down to the corner store to get us some cold drinks. And at the four-way stop by the store was a bunch of these fellows out here with these white robes on. They were having a membership drive. And they came up to me and started talking to me. And they're like, "You're not from down here, are you?" Because I didn't have an accent. And I said, "No." They said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Illinois." The dude hollered over the top of the car. He says, "Hey, we got us an in lover over here." And I immediately rolled the window up. They surrounded the car. The only reason nothing happened was the store owner
Oh,
knew who I was and called the cops. But they was fixing to put a good old fashioned whooping on me just from being from Illinois. And that was
this was
78.
Alabama,
Yeah,
78. That's
yeah.
ridiculous. Oh my God, that's
93, 1993 or 4. I was taking the wife and the kids. We were going down to Disney. And we was cutting through Alabama and we stopped at this restaurant. And this waitress came over and she wanted to know what everybody wanted to drink. Got to me and I said, "Coffee." She said, "How do you want that?" I said, "Like my women, hot and black." She walked away and after about 15 minutes, the wife says, "Where's our drinks at?" I started looking around. I could see everybody in that restaurant looking at us. And I said, "We're going to have to go down the road if you want to get something to eat because they ain't going to serve us here." Well, she said, "How come?" I said, "Because of that crack I made about I wanted my coffee hot and black." She said, "No." I said, "Yes." I said, "We might as well just get up and go because we're not getting anything." And that was, like I said, 94, I think. So there's
so
still pockets
You'll have
of
cancel
pockets.
it.
culture of '94.
You'll have pockets everywhere,
Yeah.
and you'll have. oh, I've come across ignorant people from all walks of life. I call them ignorant. All right, ignorant white people. It just ignorant
Yep.
They come in
because
every color.
if you got rid of the skin, you wouldn't see a color whatsoever. You would see red
You'd still have
everywhere.
the ignorance.
You ever
Simply
seen a
just
cross burning?
by height, by your
Yeah,
weight, by your accent. People, it's just like if it's not your color, it's how you look, how you dress. Um, it's sad.
Yep.
So
Neighborhood I lived in, we had a few cross burnings too.
yeah, that was. What's up,
That was a
Polly?
warning. That was a warning to the
Yeah.
people that lived in the house. Well, I remember my dad worked
Remember
at
the
a
football
steel
player
mill.
Reggie White? You remember the football player Reggie White,
Yeah.
the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah.
You heard what happened to him, right?
Gosh, you might have to refresh my memory.
His church was burnt to the ground.
Oh
Right?
no, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, yeah. When he still played in the NFL.
Oh no,
Reggie.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was back in the 90s.
I know back in the late '60s, my dad worked at a steel mill, and a friend of his was a fellow electrician. They were electricians, trades. And the guy was black. And Dad would invite him over to the house and drink beer with him in front of the house. And one day I asked Dad, I said, "How come you never let him come in the house?" He said, "Son, I'm pushing my luck now." He said, "If I let him in the house, they will burn the house down tomorrow.
Sad.
Yeah,
So in Knoxville, Tennessee, in 1996,
Tennessee,
Reggie
Tennessee.
White's church, the Inner City Baptist Church, was burned down. 96.
damn.
Reggie White played for the Green Bay Packers. He was a defensive end for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it's I don't understand some of it sometimes.
So yeah, I don't understand it either. We're all humans. We're all humans. We're all humans. Come from all different walks of life.
Well, I can remember there was a gay club that moved in the next town over from us, and that would have been, let me think, late mid to late 70s. And as soon as people found out it was a gay club, they burned it down. They rebuilt it and it burned down again. They moved on to other places. Yeah, they got the message real fast. Not that
That,
they had done anything to anybody, but because it got labeled a gay club, that was enough. Like I said, that was 70s, mid 70s.
yeah,
What state was this?
Illinois.
Still Illinois. Okay. Gee,
Yeah, I've seen a lot in my lifetime,
I
Jeff.
know.
now in the
I
'90s,
could tell.
I had friends in the '90s that were openly gay. In the '90s,
In the 90s, let me think. Oh, I was over it by then, I think. They were just people to me by then. Because I learned a lot. Because I went in the service when I was 17. And I learned a lot from being in the service.
Yeah, they probably don't let you beat up the gays or the blacks in there.
I wouldn't have said that, but
They
it's
what?
happened.
In the oh my! I don't even. I probably don't even want to hear it. I don't want to know.
But
In the
by,
service, they were beating up gay people and black people in the
yeah.
'60s. Hey, Zents,
No, not the 60s. This would have been
'70s.
late 70s, yeah.
you got to think. You got to think that. So I, I really hate to there was some. Man, I don't want to get
Don't get
political.
too, don't, yeah, don't go over there if it's going to upset you now.
I'm not going to
Don't
talk
need,
political, but I will just say there was a lot of hate towards people. I will just say
yes,
there was a lot of hate.
yeah,
I
it's
grew up in an all
amazing.
black community and I grew up around gay people in the '90s, and I never had a problem with them. That was the community I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? You have no control of where you grow up. But the
Which
thing
That's right.
community did
is,
you grow up in?
when
Yeah, you,
you're easily brainwashed as a child to believe certain things, even
fact,
though they're false. Right? You can be indoctrinated as a child to be taught these people are bad. These people are bad. But then, so as a child, you grow up with hate in your heart, and then when you become an adult, you're like, oh shit, I was this bad of a person because I was taught all this negativity growing up. And in reality, these people aren't as bad as I was told they were. You know, that's why, like, with there's a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
as you get older, you learn a lot of the things that you were told aren't always accurate.
that's right. You just can't take somebody else's word. You got to investigate for yourself.
That's right.
And
That's what I keep preaching.
that's the problem with society as a whole. Just because somebody says it doesn't make it true.
I know
I had a
that. I don't know why
I
people
had a
swallow
problem
everything.
a couple of years ago because my son's half black, my youngest son, and we ran into some racism, and the guy ended up with a butt of a pistol in his mouth.
Ooh.
He might have lost a few teeth. I asked him twice to please not use that word towards my son, and he
What, the
said it
R word?
again, and I no, the N word.
Oh.
He was calling my son an N word,
Ooh.
and I asked him twice, please be respectful. The third time, I reached back and
Wait. Someone that's already calling your son that name, they're already way, way beyond respect. You honestly expected him to. What was he
yes.
going to do? Like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I
Well, I
won't
try
call
to
your
give.
son
I realize how
anymore.
hyperbole goes, so I always try to give people the extra mile, so to speak. But once you cross that line, all bets are off. So I hit the guy.
Oh,
Never heard another word out of him. I hit him in the mouth with the butt of a pistol
wow.
because he crossed.
Sounds like
He crossed.
assault.
Well, yeah, technically it was,
Well, I
but
would
I
tell
gave
you
him.
he's lucky that he got hit with the butt of a pistol because if you go into any other neighborhood, he wouldn't have been walking afterwards.
Yeah, the neighborhood I left was shootings every night. So,
If he was, if this dude would have been in the south side of Chicago or Brooklyn, New York, or
yep,
L.A.
yep.
or Compton or something like that, and he would have openly said that word loud enough for a YN to hear it, he wouldn't have been walking away. Say that.
And I was respectful enough to try to explain it to the individual, but he didn't want my explanation.
But you don't think people know when they're using that word? They know. You're not.
Hell yeah, they know.
Especially, it's pretty bold to call a kid that in front of his dad. Like you're not dealing with an ordinary person here.
Nope.
And he was probably an older fella.
Yeah, he was close to my age. He was younger than me.
Oh.
But he was an older fella. He wasn't like in his 20s.
Right, right, right.
Older fella.
Probably 30, mid 30s. Because I'm a lover, not a fighter. I mean,
Yes, and
you got to push me a long way before I get violent.
All he had to do was say one word.
Well, I let him go, and then after the second warning, third time's a charm.
you want to hear a story about Detroit, Michigan, right? Oh, so I came up so you can see what I look like. I am a pale white guy. All right.
Big fella.
Yeah. So I was in Detroit. One of my favorite rap groups was ICP. And they always talked about Military Street, right? In Detroit. So, in Military Street is a very bad area. Am I wrong, Zents? Military Street's a very bad area. Well, this was probably 24, 25 years ago, right? I'm 44. Um,
Oh, you're still a spring chicken.
so I get on the Military Street, and there was this old black man sitting on the porch. And he's like, "Hey, come here," right? So I go up on his porch. Um, And he's like, "Hey, I want you to run to the store for me. But anybody asks, I'm, you're coming to see your pop pop, and you had to go to the store for him, right?" So he sent me to the store to get him a 6-pack, right? So I'm walking down Military Street, and I'm like, "Damn, I'm in the wrong area." I get to the store, buy stuff. On the way back, people were questioning me, like, "Who are you? Where are you from?" And I said, "I'm here to see Pop Pop." They knew him by Pop Pop. That was his nickname. They're like, "You're not related to him." I said, "Yes, I am." And I said, "Follow me. This is his beard." And they saw his beard. And, you know, I get back to the porch and I hand him his beer, and I'm sitting there talking with him, and I'm drinking the beer with him. And, he tells
think
all the
you're
he tells all the dudes, "Get off my porch and leave my family alone." I said,
Why?
"Thank you, sir. You just saved me from
your
$2
audio
making."
cut. Is it me?
No, I think he did cut out a little bit.
Can you hear me
But
now?
why did he kick everybody off the porch?
Because they were there with guilty minds, ulterior motives.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
I
what
I
he
know
know
what that's like.
they were there.
80, 80, 89. There's a steel mill, the town that the steel mill was in, and there was many a bars around the steel mill. And a fellow, I got in there as an electrician, and there was a fellow electrician. He was an older gentleman. He was probably 60 by then, and he stopped at the tavern one day and sat down at the bar and asked for a glass of beer. They brought him a 6-pack in a paper bag. Well, you knew what that meant. I mean, take your beer and get out of here. But after he came back to work and told everybody, everybody boycotted that bar, and it ended up closing down for lack of business.
Because of how ugly he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens where I come from. It happens in small towns. It happens in the South. When they hear about how you treat people,
Yep.
Yep.
they and all their
Word,
friends
yeah,
start.
word got around fast, and
Yep.
everybody supported this dude. And mind you, this was 89, Jeff. Crazy.
When you have a good reputation with yourself and people respect you, they're going to stand by you. So,
Yeah,
so
Well,
this
well,
guy that walked into
people,
that bar and ordered
people
that,
want you to take some more off, Jeff.
well, then they can get me how what number I'm up to. They can get me 10 more subscribers, and we could do our disco party tomorrow.
Driftathon.
Shirtless disco.
You're going
all
to
right,
do a rave?
Jeff, this is what we'll do, right? How many subs you got right now? How many are you short?
I don't know. Let me
I
check.
can't see it. I'm on my phone.
11. I'm 11 away. This is the
Okay.
closest I have ever been.
So this is
Jeff,
what I'll
did you?
do, right? This is what I'll do, Jeff. Okay. Send me an email tomorrow morning, well, tomorrow afternoon, right? Tomorrow afternoon, because you got my email, right? If you
Yeah.
hit 1,000, then let me know. If not, okay, we'll do a collab tomorrow evening around 6:30, 7 o'clock. All right,
What time zone are you in?
Eastern.
Ooh, that'd be way
I could
early for
maybe do
Jeff.
that. I'll probably be streaming earlier than that here, so we could either I can either end it and then we can do something, or we can just combine the existing stream.
Yeah, we could do, yeah, stream both channels.
Yeah, Because I've gotten subs that way before too, from double stream, like co-streaming.
You remember Joshua Jones, Jeff?
Yeah.
Word on the street is he died.
What?
Yeah. He just retired, I think, from his government job.
He was in the. He was in. What was he? Dip. He was like in
He worked for the
intelligence.
State Department. He
Yeah, the
worked for the
State
State
Department.
Department. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Where did you hear this? I saw him on a panel like just a few weeks ago.
Uh, he was a. He's been he ran Restless Discord. RESLA. Restless Discord. He was his manager of his Discord, I think. And Restless the one that said it, that he passed away. Don't know the who, why, what, where's, but yeah, that freaked me out too.
Oh my! I'm still in shock. I'm. Oh my God! I liked Joshua. He's on many of my earlier streams. You can just
Yes,
Google
yeah,
Joshua Jones. He was a regular for a while.
he was our resident communist.
Yeah, and that's when all the Israel stuff was starting, like the October 7th thing, and I would have him on all the time to give all the inside scoop on the behind the scenes stuff. They even flew him to Beirut, and then they started attacking Lebanon too. And he was there when that started happening. So he would come on and he would give us all this inside information.
Yeah, because he worked for the State Department.
Yeah.
He was a
Oh my God.
foreign
Ooh.
service officer, FSO, foreign service officer is what he was.
This is
And
gonna. This is
go
like my
ahead,
first panel
Death.
death. Yeah.
I was
The
shocked.
shock is still hitting me. It's not over yet. It's gonna be coming probably all night.
I was shocked to hear that. I didn't believe it at first till somebody went and talked to Wrestler and
Do
said it
they
was
know how or
true.
what happened?
I haven't heard any specifics.
Because he was
I
young.
and if I'm not mistaken, he just retired and moved back to the States.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and his Vietnamese wife and kid.
Uh huh. Oh my God. Well,
But
we have him on stream. I mean, he's always with us whenever we want him.
I like Joshua. He was
I did
funny.
too. He took a turn, and
Oh yeah.
um, but I didn't have a problem with him. Yeah, no, I because he was hanging out here
I
for a while. He got into it with the Crucible. I know him from the Crucible,
yeah, yep.
and he had some falling out with them, so he started hanging out over here, and he wanted to help me build up this channel like Andrew had built up the Crucible. He was all inspired, like, oh, I want to help you do for this what Andrew did for the Crucible. Uh, we can make
Uh,
this the next, and so he was here for months and months and months hanging
I,
out with me.
I wasn't trying to bring you down or anything, but I knew you knew Joshua's. That's why I asked.
I did well. I know him from
Yeah,
stream.
from
I mean,
the
he was
YouTube.
practically like a third or fourth co-host at one point, or might as well have been. Definitely like a regular
Oh wait a minute.
daily
Moxie,
guest.
Moxie said something in chat. What did she say?
Orthodox guy. Is
Yeah, I
that a
know Ortho.
YouTuber?
Yeah, I know Orthodox
So
guy.
he has the scoop.
His father reached out to him. Is that what it says?
Yep.
Oh
He said his
damn.
father reached out to him to tell him he had passed away.
Orthodox is a fairly new streamer. Well, that sucks.
What? Somebody had subbed?
Uh, unsub. I can do that.
back back to oh And then so I got see that's why it's like football. It's never as easy as you think. They can have like one more little inch to go, and it's gonna
Well,
take them an hour.
if you remember, we had that problem at the 500 mark. You gain some, and then you'd lose a bunch.
And then Puffy showed up with
Yeah, and she
her
brought her crew over and pushed you
yeah.
over because
We'll
she
get
spent
there.
like 2 days drawing pictures for you or something on stream, if
Just
I
hope we'll
remember
get there.
right.
I hope we get there to tomorrow or the next day when I'm off, so we could do our disco shirtless
I
thing.
can see you
Otherwise, I'm
hitting
gonna
it
have to postpone
tomorrow.
it.
I can see you hitting it tomorrow.
Oh, well,
Just don't get naked prematurely.
I'm trying not to.
You get naked. Oh, your mic get shut down.
Hi, IG. Go find me some subs. I'm 10 away. If you're truly the internet god, you could pull this off.
Oh, you're only 10 away now?
I think it keeps bouncing.
People messing with you. I got it.
Alan, I have had this shirt. Oh, you could probably go look at the last 2 years of streams, and you're gonna see this shirt like at least once a week, especially in the wintertime.
I can remember when you was doing that dance thing with Jesse.
Oh yeah, our
Uh,
panel rave.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
And Moose.
And Moose and
Yeah,
Angeline.
that was funny as hell.
Not Laz. What do you mean a second picture? I don't
Huh?
know what that is. You talking about my avatar? Oh, on the wall. Yeah, I know. I owe y'all something in that space. Yes, I know all of this. It's
What is it? The wall of shame or what?
but somehow that does not keep you from watching or hanging out or participating. So,
Oh, not Laws is
thanks for
interested.
your support.
Do you cycle your thumbnails? Do you change them out?
My
Your
thumb like
thumbnails?
my
YouTube
YouTube
thumbnails?
thumbnails. Yeah, I put new ones every day.
Okay.
All right, fine, Alan. My mind was already made up. The only reason it was even off is because you started picking at it.
Don't make fun of the camo. It's wearing antlers, okay?
Right, yeah.
It
I
blends
need
in
this
together.
camo.
Did you get new antlers or just fix the old one?
Neither one.
Neither one.
It's yeah, it's the old ones.
Oh, okay.
They're not fixed.
Have you ever gone hunting, Jeff?
I did when I was younger. They took me hunting. It's kind of a ritual down in Louisiana. So and I was the oldest, so I was the first one to get to go hunting, and I hated it.
Why'd
Oh
you
my
hate
God,
it?
What
I
was
was
you
so
what
bored.
was you
First of all, you
hunting?
had to wake up like at 3 in the morning. It was freezing. And
Oh
then
my
it was
God.
duck hunting. You had to go sit in the duck blind, which was like the size of this table that my computer's on. It was
Well, that's
so
not
Yeah.
tiny. It barely fit one person. There were two
I
of us
thought you
in
were
there.
actually hunting like deer or,
Well,
deer
ducks.
hunt.
I shot the gun. I hated it.
You'd
Why?
have probably been really good with the bow and arrow.
Like all my family does all that. They hunt all that stuff. My brother has a hunting camp, in fact. But I don't do. I tried that and it didn't. It's not for me. Plus, I don't eat any of this stuff anyway, so I'm not motivated to
You
put a
don't
lot
eat
of
meat,
effort into killing creatures
steak.
that I'm not even going to eat.
I bet you if French fries flew, you'd shoot them.
I might shoot a French fry, a
You don't
potato.
eat steak, Jeff.
I eat steak. I would shoot a cow. I
You
would. I
ever had
almost got
squirrel
killed by
before?
those things.
Squirrel sausage.
No, I don't eat squirrel. They would shoot them out of the trees growing up, and they'd come in and cook squirrel stew and stuff. It's like
Yep.
rice and gravy and squirrel or
Yep.
quail. I don't eat any of that.
Squirrel ain't nothing but a tree rat.
It tastes like chicken.
I wouldn't.
Wrong.
Yeah, it does.
Not to me, it doesn't.
It tastes like sweet
I've
chicken.
never had the urge to eat a squirrel when there's a
Well, we
grocery
made
store with
Meat.
chicken and
we made
beef and pork
sausage
and
out of squirrel.
oh my god.
No, I just ate fried squirrel.
Mmm, that'll work.
It was so good.
Frog legs, I ain't fucking with no frog legs.
I ate
I'm
frog
sorry.
legs
I like
growing
frog
up.
legs.
I don't like them as an adult, but as a kid I did.
I don't. You got to make them right. I hate salty frog legs.
Venison.
Ours were spicy.
Give me some good deer meat. I'm in hog heaven.
Yeah, I like deer meat. I like eel. I like octopus.
I don't think
Chuck's
I've had
like, what the fuck?
octopus. I ain't fucking with anything. Yeah, squid, all that shit. Nah,
I've had squid. It
I
was
took a girl
rubbery.
on a date, right? And usually when you take a chick on a date and you're paying for it, you take her to where she wants to go, right?
right?
She wanted to go to a Japanese sushi place, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So I took her. So I took her to a sushi place, and there's certain sushi I've never had, and I tried it. You know, if you ain't never tried it, you can't say it's disgusting until you try it. So I tried it, and I'm like, damn. At first, I thought it was disgusting, but I never tried it until I tried it. It was good. Yes, octopus is good, and it's chewy. I
My
do not
brother,
like oysters. I don't
my
like.
brother,
I don't like
my
mussels.
brother had rat in China.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I agree.
If
No
I
rat for this
as a
kid.
pet, I will never eat it. People eat rabbit. I won't eat rabbit because I've had them as a pet before.
Rabbit? Is that what you
Yep.
said? Yeah, rabbits like squirrel. They're not a whole lot of fat.
Jeff is like, what the hell is going on over here?
Oh no, no, they would cook rabbit growing up.
But I
Duck,
wouldn't eat it.
rabbit, squirrel,
So
all this stuff. But I didn't like
Crawdads.
any of it.
Did you eat crawdads, Jeff?
Yeah, I love crawfish.
Really, you do you?
Yeah,
I
Louisiana
like
crawfish.
crawfish.
I wouldn't eat the crawfish up here or outside of Louisiana.
I love a crawfish seafood boil. Man,
Are they
that thing.
kind of like shrimp or lobster, or what
More
would
like
you
lobster
describe it?
and shrimp.
It's been a long time since I've had any.
So Jeff, he's so antsy. He wants to hit 1,000
One,
right now.
yep, right now. He wants.
Well,
He wants.
only so we can do our party. So I have it like um tomorrow at the earliest. So it doesn't have to be tonight. As long as like when I wake up or sometime tomorrow morning, it happens, and then I can schedule the party.
All right. I
But
got to
if it
drop down.
doesn't,
I got to
you're
be up
saying
early.
to email you,
Yeah,
and
email
we'll
me.
do something.
Yeah.
All right.
Either way, even if, well, not either way because you want to do your party. If you,
Because if I get it in the morning, I'm just gonna schedule like an all day party, disco, shirtless, whatever the shirtless disco party thing, and then everybody will know. Okay, he hit his 1,000.
Just
But
hopefully you
if
don't
if you
lose a bunch.
don't see that scheduled, if y'all don't see a disco party, that means I'm still waiting on subs.
It looks like you're 11 away now. If my if my
I don't
counter's
even
up
want
to
to know.
date, you keep bouncing back and forth.
I
Like
know.
I said, I think people are playing with you.
I think so. I think so. But it'll get there, I guess, at some point. So we'll do it whenever it happens. So if it doesn't happen tomorrow, which it probably won't, Eddie, I'll just email you.
All right, we have a good live, humility and ego.
We'll call it Miracle Monday.
So we'll do a live covering humility and ego.
Wait, say it again.
Humility and ego.
Oh, you that one tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
do that tomorrow. So,
All right. Well, it sounds like a plan.
all right, Jeff, you take care, bro.
All right. You
All
too,
Well,
Eddie.
right.
nice
Good.
meeting you, sir.
Nice meeting you too, sir.
Oh, I
Thank
thought
you for
y'all
the
knew each other.
combo.
I just
No,
assume
this
everybody knows Chuck.
No,
this
no,
this
no.
If there's
first
one
time
person
I
in the
met this.
Panoverse everybody's bound to know, it's got to be Chuck.
You know, you know what else will help? I'll give you another idea. Go sit outside your front yard on your phone and go live and put
I don't have any.
subscriber mode only, right? And what will happen is people will you will do video shorts, do shorts, do a lot of shorts, right? I will tell you this, right? I gained 250 subs off of one short.
What was the short?
Me in the gym, working
You
out.
doing what?
Um, so before I fractured my wrist, I was and had other issues happen. I was going back to the gym, and I dropped the short talking about mental health in the gym, and I gained a lot of subs just off that short.
So you're saying like just walk around and talk about random little short topics and record them.
Yeah,
I could do
things
that
that will
probably
help
easily.
somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like um
Encouraging words.
I might end up running some errands tomorrow, like walking around doing stuff like that, so I could just record, like take my
Like while you're walking and you got something you want to
yeah, I could
encourage
just
people with.
take my camera out and start recording while I'm walking,
Yeah, and then
and
upload
then
as a short.
right, and then come back and pick out the ones that I think would make good
But don't
shorts.
drop all the shorts at once. Drop them one
All
after
right. Yeah, I might play around with that tomorrow. That's not a bad idea.
Well,
another.
Jeff ought to be good at dropping shorts.
Uh, I'm out of practice. It's been a it's been a
All
long while.
right, fellas, I gotta dip out. I gotta go take care of the wife real quick.
All right,
Good
guys.
Take
talking
care,
to you.
Chuck.
Pleasure to meet you there, Eddie.
Yeah, well, you too, Chuck.
All right, take care. We'll get you there, Jeff. Hang in there.
I'm patient.
So back to what I was saying before I leave. Is shorts are very good too. YouTube shorts um, uh, helps the algorithm too.
Yeah, I might try that.
Okay, so try that too. But once I get back into the gym, I'll be dropping more shorts. It's just that this thing right here is stopping me from going into the gym.
Oh, how long are your shorts? Like, what's a good length?
Well, it depends. It depends. Um, they have what 3 minute shorts, but you don't have to do 3 minutes. You could do a 15-second short. You know what I'm saying? Like have something encouraging.
Quit being crazy, people. I'm here to talk about mental health. Stop
Well,
being fucking crazy. Would that motivate people?
oh my god.
What's wrong with y'all?
Oh,
Stop being crazy.
man. Oh my god, Jeff.
Well,
I'd be like, "Who are you talking to about being crazy? I be crazy."
or if you're gonna be crazy, do it in a healthy way. There's a healthy way to be crazy, and a destructive way. So
But think of positive, encouraging words to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, something that will uplift somebody's spirit listening to what you have to say.
me, I don't. That's asking a lot. Um, I don't know. I'll try to. I'll play around with it tomorrow. It'll give me something to do on my walk
Yeah, there you go. There you
and
go.
see what I come with. I'll try different approaches and see, and then I'll you know, experiment.
Yeah.
Hey, fools and tools.
So, but if I'll check tomorrow late afternoon, if I don't see you got that live posted or you live streaming. Um,
Okay. Yeah, if you don't see me live on my own by 6 o'clock or whatever, then um, we could just plan to do our thing. But I'll let you know either way. I'll know something by midday.
all right, I will talk to you later.
All
Alan,
right. Have a good one, Eddie.
yes, Alan, good seeing you. Carrie T, nice to meet you. Even though I know who you are, but it was nice seeing you in here. Um,
Hey, Puffy.
I know LA Buffy. I've seen her before. I've seen her in a few places. Hope
Yeah,
you're doing all
Puffy's
right.
cool.
So, all right, I'm dropping off. I'll talk to you later, Jeff.
Take care.
All right, bye.
See, bye. That's what you used to say on a telephone call when you ended a phone call. You'd say, okay, bye. Salute. Is salute a greeting or is it like aloha where you can use it to say goodbye too? I don't know. I need to learn this. I think I'm an honorary Italian, so I have to get up on all the lingo, the etiquette, the communication stuff. All right, that's it for me. I need to go to bed. I can feel my brain shutting down. Alan, he didn't even come up. Oh my God. What? He haunts y'all. I'm still the Joshua Jones thing is still sinking in too. We had hours and hours of conversations. He was a character. I liked him, and I think he was on Chaotic Truths for a while too. He was a mod there, a regular, or part of that. Oh, it can be okay. I'm gonna start using it. Salute. I gotta learn to say it right though. Yo, salute. Salute, y'all. Salute. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. And good night. Until tomorrow. Hopefully for our disco shirtless party. Oh, wait. I forgot to play the music. Here we go.